Okay, so your underlying energy is the Seven of Pentacles. Underneath that is the Two of Wands. You're trying to figure out whether or not it's worth the effort and the time to go ahead and do something. I feel like you went down a direction that you felt was the best for you, but now you're like, I don't know if this is actually the right direction for me. Actually, is it really? Is it really? Because this is double. This is double questioning your situation. Really, trying to figure out whether or not this is exactly if this is actually something you really want to do, if this is actually something getting towards something that you've been or going towards something that you actually want, because you've been in a lot of work, you've come a long way. Seven of Pentacles shows that, and I feel like it is showing small bits of results, but none that are that may be enough to convince you, or like just enough to slightly convince you to continue to move forward. Now, the heart of your reading of the Four of Wands, so you guys have something very similar to Aries, which is getting to a place of stability, some sort of moving up in a place of commitments and relationships. And I feel like that, that's the challenge, trying to get there, trying to get to a place where you can feel more comfortable to expand. But the thing is, it's crossing is the Four of Cups. So you kind of feel apathetic. You're not really feeling the situation. You feel stuck mostly. I feel like you got the same situation hitting you over and over again. And it's about, making a decision about what you're going to do, right? But more so it's like not seeing something there's not seeing a new opportunity available because you've been looking at the situation. You've been looking at what you've got, or looking at all you can see. When maybe the situation is asking you to shift your focus from away from the same old, right? And now how do you do that? Well, don't focus so much on what you have to deal with. Don't, focus on, focus on yourself, or perhaps, be open to new opportunities and new ideas. Because in the past here, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups indicates multiple options, several different things to choose from, but they all seem really good, but you don't know if they necessarily lead to anything lucrative. Now, this is fantasy. This is also dreams. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you may have been in a very, maybe you had a little bit more fun, or you maybe had a lot more options presented to you. And those were great. And then, but now you have the Hermit. So you kind of taken some time back, taking a step back. Why are you taking a step back? Well, your external energy is showing the Ten of Wands rather. So this is talking about you guys feeling burdened with responsibilities and tasks, and you're having to take time out to yourself to figure out whether or not this is something. Maybe this is a burden that you're ready to take, put down. Like you're not sure if you're ready to do any of that, or not necessarily ready to do any of that, or wanting to rather. Because the Hermit talks about looking within, finding with the answers within. It's a very soul searching card. It's very spiritual, and I feel like you guys are doing that now. But that's the thing. I feel like that Four of Cups with the Hermit, it's like it's perpetuating the consistent same old. The Four of Cups is like same old. You feel stuck. You don't have a lot of options. You only have to work with three cups that are the same, that have shown no interest. But then you have the Knight of Swords in the future, so you may get aggressive. You know what I mean? You may get really aggressive because you don't like being stuck. You don't like being trapped. You don't like feeling like you don't have any options. And I feel like you make an option. For some of you guys, the Four of Cups is that you guys have been settling with those Four of Cups, or those three cups that you're staring at, because you don't really feel like you have any other options. But I feel like you guys are fixed signs, and your opposite sign is Aquarius. And what do they do all the time if they don't feel like they have any options? They'll make an option. And I feel like that's the thing. The Hermit is like almost like you guys are trying to figure out, well, if this is going to be the same old thing, I think I'm going to have to make an option. I'm going to have to make an option to get out of this. And that's what I'm kind of getting a sense of. You guys are like ready to kind of like purge and get through, because you really do want to get to a place where you're ready to expand, or you are. You're in a stable spot, you're ready to expand, but you don't know how to, you don't know what you want to do as far as expansion, or maybe just things have just been boring, or someone's rejected you, somebody's been putting you on hold, you've been waiting, and maybe you're tired of waiting now, and you're ready to just you're ready to make something happen in the future. Like you're ready to cut some throats, ready to do some things that you want to do and stop waiting on the whole world to do it for you. Which is very fair. But the thing is, with the future, is your goal and ambition is the Five of Cups. Very interesting card to have in your goal and ambition, because this is what you aspire to be. Perhaps you want to get over the fact that these 3 cups don't exist anymore. Maybe the 3 cups that you've been looking at for a long time, maybe this is that something that's gone, something that's not there. And the reason why you keep looking at them is because you're trying to figure out a way to get those cups back, or return to that certain feeling that you had been when you had the 3 cups in the first place. But I think it was short-lived. It died out. And that's why you're looking within yourself. You're retracted because you don't feel that sense of excitement, that happiness, that celebration anymore. And it's like, where is it? Like, I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be excited. I'm supposed to be great. And I feel like you just like, you instead, you're bored. You don't have anything going on. You're stuck. You're just feeling like you're emotionally finished with the situation. Like, you're just feeling that hell no situation. You're like, about to cut some motherfuckers up. I swear. The 5 of Cups. It's showing that you may want to overcome this feeling of that, even though you're focusing on the 3 cups that you may have lost. You want to be able to shift your focus to the new possibilities, to new things, to a new adventure, to feeling something differently. But it returns to the relationship, 2 cups. It returns to the connection that you have with this person. If you're not feeling that sense of connection, spend time together. Focus on what used to be, because if you focus too much on what used to be, then you're going to still be stuck. And I feel like that's the situation. Don't focus on what used to be, because even from the 4, he was looking at what used to be. He had the 3 cups already, but he's still like, I want it back. How do I make this happy again? How do I get the band back together? Maybe somebody at the end of the band doesn't want to be a part of the band anymore, and that's sad. But you still have participants, and you still have things that you got, that you want going on for you in a happy way. That doesn't mean just because something's gone, just something that's not working or something's not in your favor, doesn't mean you can't have that party, Leo. It just means that you may have to make another option. That means that you may have to focus, you shift your focus on the 2 cups and make something work with those. Okay. Now, again, I already talked about the external energy, which is the 10 of Wands. The Hermit, 10 of Wands. It's very similar to 7 of Pentacles in the external energy, which talks about really taking a look at the things that are overburdening, that are a lot of work, a lot of effort. And I feel like you guys have just been like, you guys have just been, just swamped with stuff, swamped with dealing with things. And I feel like you just needed that getaway, to step away, to really think about things, to really connect with yourself. Because here in your outcome, you have the 8 of Cups. You end up walking away. You end up saying, you know what, forget it. I'm done. This is not me. You're empty. It's like you're done. You're emotionally drained. You're not angry, though. Remember. The 8 of Cups is not an angry card. This person is not angry. As a matter of fact, this person looks more confused than anything. But this is a card itself. But the thing is, it's like, this is not an angry card. You just know what you don't want. You know what it is that you do not feel like belongs to you with, anything. Like, I feel like whatever it is that's keeping you stuck at this moment, whatever it is that's, making you feel like you have to deal with these options alone, or you're trying to rekindle some sort of feelings from the past, that's showing that, there's no possible way that you can do that. You have to find a new way. You have to go after a new way of making yourself happy. And that's a hard thing in itself, but trust me, you're going to find your own way. It may be a little aggressive, but you're going to find your own way of doing that. And it's going to be bigger and badder than it ever has been. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at, your wisdom of the oracle is showing blessed. You are blessed. Well, the situation is really hard to see, right? Because right now, you don't see how this is a blessing at all. And I think it's the best part to realize is that you are always blessed. It's never that when you have a bad time or when you have a good time, you're blessed. Every moment, every waking moment of your life, you are blessed. And that means that you have the capability in your life to change the circumstances if you don't want them to be. You have a lot of things that are in your favor if you don't want them to be. That's why you're always blessed. You have the free will to do whatever you want to do. And then in a way that's a blessing. You have the free will to do what you want, to not do what you want. But even the steps that you are willing to take or wanting to take, those are blessed too. Because they want you to be the best version of yourself. The universe wants you to be the best version of yourself. God wants you to be the best version of yourself. A new day is dawning, and this is the first card of the deck. It's interesting. I don't normally see the first 2 cards of the Wisdom of the Oracle, Yin and Yang, or yang and yin, which is the first card is yang, second card is yin. I don't know, typically see those all the time, so I really get amped up when I see the first and second cards, because when you shuffle them, it's very interesting how they don't ever come out. They have other cards that have similar meanings to them, but never the raw essence of those cards really come up. But it's always, but the messenger, the oracle, they always have, like the first one I've pulled like 3-4 times recently, and it's like, that's interesting because this card comes up a lot often. It made me think about that. But anyway, not really important. New day, a new day is dawning. That means that you have a new world, a new life, a new opportunity, a new beginning, more so than anything that you have, that you can have. It's yours to have it, but it takes time. But it needs you. It's all about shifting your focus from what you don't have. If you can't get that excitement no more, you can't get that excitement no more. It doesn't mean that it's the end of a relationship if you don't feel that sort of excitement, though. It just means that there may have to be this growth to this growth. Just because something dies down a little bit doesn't mean it's going to, it's going to stay that way and dead. Now, taking a step back and looking within yourself, that's probably a good thing to do, because you're healing. Because you're looking within yourself, you've connected with yourself and all that goodness. You're taking time away from the person that you no longer feel very excited about being with. But the thing is, you still love this person and still have attachment to this individual. And I feel like that's great. Now, if they've been giving you a hard time, if you've been feeling like you've been doing a lot more work in the relationship that you feel you should, then yeah, it makes sense why you need to take it explains why you need to take a step back to figure out whether or not this is something you really want to continue to pursue, whether or not you want to work on, right? Whether or not this is something that you actually want to do. Now, I still don't see no breakup in the future. The Knight of Swords can indicate here that you may end up cutting some people, but cutting them with your words more so than anything. Be like, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want to be no slave, etc., etc. You know what? You may have to do that. You may have to just say, you know, this isn't working for me. But be open to options. Be open to solutions, of course. But I feel like you don't have to hide, or you don't have to retreat. You may have to just say what it is that you feel. And I can understand, though, if the Hermit card for you guys is like, hey, but I need to figure out what I feel first before I say it. Totally acceptable. So feeling out what it is that you feel, knowing what you feel, and then communicating that to somebody, that's good. I feel like that's a good idea, a good approach, Leo. I really feel that way. But you have a new day is dawning. First card, or a new day dawns. That means that there's a new beginning on the horizon. Is something coming on. You know what I mean? And it starts by recognizing where you're blessed, which is by being aware of your abilities, being aware of your freedoms, being aware of who you are, just as being yourself is a gift. But I feel like that's the thing to remember. No matter what direction you choose, no matter what you decide to do, it's blessed.